Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we are in the book of Ezekiel. We are in chapter 45, Division of the Land. When you allot the land as an inheritance, you are to present to the Lord a portion of the land as sacred district, 25,000 cubits long and 20 cubits wide. I got a footnote of B. The Septuagint, which is the Greek, and it lists this in several different places where that's 10,000 instead of 20,000 cubits wide, 10,000 cubits wide. The entire area will be holy. Of this, a section 500 cubits square is to be for the sanctuary, with 50 cubits around it for open land. In the sacred district, measure off a section 25,000 cubits, that is about 7 miles or 12 kilometers, long, and 10,000 cubits wide, and that is about 3 miles or 5 kilometers. In it will be the sanctuary, the most holy place. It will be the sacred portion of the land for the priests who minister in the sanctuary and who draw near to minister before the Lord. It will be a place for their houses as well as the holy place for the sanctuary. An area 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide will belong to the Levites, who serve the temple as their possession for the towns they live in. In the Septuagint in the Hebrew temple, they will have as their entire possessions, 20 rooms. You are to give the city as its property an area 5,000 cubits wide and 25,000 cubits long, adjoining the sacred portion. It will belong to the whole house of Israel. The prince will have the land bordering on each side of the area formed by the sacred district and the property of the city. It will extend westward from the city and eastward from the east side. Westward from the west side and eastward from the east side, running lengthwise into from the western to the eastern border parallel to one of the tribal portions. This land will be his possession in Israel. And my princes will no longer oppress my people, but will allow the house of Israel to possess the land according to their tribes. This is what the sovereign Lord says. You have gone far enough, O princes of Israel. Give up your violence and oppression and do what is right, just and right. Stop dispossessing my people, declares the sovereign Lord. So God is saying, power, princes, is not, I can do whatever I want to you and no one cares, because God cares. You are to use accurate scales and accurate ephah, F. An ephah was a dry measure, and an accurate bath, G. Bath was a liquid measure. The ephah and the bath are to be the same size. The bath containing a tenth of a homer was a dry measure, and an ephah a tenth of a homer. The homer is to be the standard measure for both. The shekel weighed about 2/5 of an ounce or about 11.5 grams, is to consist of 20 gerahs. 20 shekels plus 25 shekels plus 15 shekels equals 1 mina. That is 60 shekels. The common mina was 50 shekels. So not enough value in the silver, okay, being placed in the money. No making the silver stretch and using less silver so you can print more money. Offerings and holy days. This is the special gift you are to offer, 1/6 of an ephah of each homer of wheat and 1/6 of an ephah from each homer of barley. The prescribed portion of oil, measured by the bath, is 1/10 of a bath from each core, which consists of 10 baths or 1 homer, for 10 baths are the equivalent of 1 homer. Also, 1 sheep is to be taken from every flock of 200 from the well-watered pastures of Israel. These will be used for the grain offerings, burnt offerings, and fellowship offerings, traditionally called peace offerings, to make atonement for the people, declares the sovereign Lord. All the people of the land will participate in the special gift for the use of the prince in Israel. It will be the duty of the prince to provide the burnt offerings, grain offerings, and drink offerings at the festivals, the new moons, and the Sabbaths, at all the appointed feasts of the house of Israel. He will provide the sin offering, grain offering, burnt offerings, and fellowship offerings to make atonement for the house of Israel. Since their leader kept leading them astray and having them worship idols, the leader now has to give all of the offerings that need to be burnt for his entire tribe. Like, he is to provide the feast to feed the poor, not the poor are being taxed to feed him for the feast. This is what the sovereign Lord says. In the first month, on the first day, you are to take a young bull without defect and purify the sanctuary. The priest is to take some of the blood of the sin offering and put it on the doorposts of the temple, on the four corners of the upper ledge of the altar, and on the gatepost of the inner court. You are to do the same on the seventh day of the month for anyone who sins unintentionally or through ignorance. So you are to make atonement for the temple. Sorry about that. Atonement for the temple. Like, the temple needs to be re-sanctified every month. In the first month, on the 14th day, you are to observe Passover, a feast lasting 7 days, during which you shall eat bread without yeast. On that day, the prince is to provide a bull as a sin offering for himself and for all the people of the land. Every day during the 7 days of the feast, he is to provide 7 bulls and 7 rams without defect as a burnt offering to the Lord, and a male goat for a sin offering. He is to provide as a grain offering an ephah for each bull and an ephah for each ram, along with a hin of oil. The hin has got to be, that is probably about 4 quarts or 4 liters of oil for each ephah. During the 7 days of the feast, which begins in the 7th month on the 15th day, he is to make the same provisions for sin offerings, burnt offerings, grain offerings, and oil. So you understand that this is a transition, because there has always been offerings for the entire, tribe being made, but usually that was being called from the Levites' offerings. And here it's being ordered that it is to be the prince's offerings. So different people needing to provide for the sin and guilt and peace offerings. So it is a change in contract. Remember all of this. This is contract language. They got dispossessed of the land because they were still told, you worship just the living God, and they worshiped a pantheon. So he said, you're not paying your bills. Eviction notice. Monotheism or eviction notice. This continues the division of the land through chapter 46. So I hope you'll join me there.